Welcome everyone to another episode of Screen Queens. I am your host for tonight, Rickey Z. You can find me at Rickey Z _social on Instagram and Twitter, Twix, X, whatever. I don't care. That other man's place. And Rickey _ZTV on TikTok. And I'm so glad to be with my fellow co-hosts. I'll start with Kristie.
Hey, I'm Kristie, aka the Horror Queen, and you guys can find me at Love Horror Queen on Blue Sky. Primarily, that's where I mostly hang out. But my husband AJ and I have a YouTube channel and podcast where we talk about all things horror. So you can find us at In Love with Horror on Instagram, or X as well.
I like to call it Twix. All right, and now we have our double the fun, double feature podcast hosts, Kira and Meka.
Oh yes, hey everyone. Oh, can I say I love when people just calling Twitter what they want to call it? I mean,
I know.
whatever it is to you, whatever it is to you. I still stick to them. Oh yes, hey everyone, Kira, one half of Double Feet podcast. That's where you can find us on all our social medias, right, Meka? Insta.
Oh yep, Instagram, YouTube. And we just got Blue Sky. I just got to get more active over there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like the vibe though, I must say.
I do like the vibe. Yep.
And then also we have our Lady of Horror, Lady Shasha.
Hi, I'm Lady Shasha. I'm the mistress of the snark. I'm the blood Goldilocks, and I'm the gore connoisseur. I'm at Horror Freak on everything, even Xiaohongshu. Shu. I'm also on Hood Podcast. Make sure you follow us. We have an episode premiering tonight after we finish with this one. It'll go live. And tomorrow night I have a podcast that I started with my husband called What We Watched Last Weekend. Because we end up watching so many movies and I never get a chance to review them all in a timely fashion. So we just started a show called What We Watched Last Weekend, and this past weekend we focused on Irish horror. So we got to watch
I can't wait.
vampire movies and one it's Sea Fever. Thank you to Kira and me because one of y'all told us to watch Sea Fever.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to see what you guys picked from the Irish horror. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we'll be on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on that one.
Ooh, noted.
That's so cool. So before we get into everything, make sure you like and subscribe, follow us on Screen Kings Podcast. And if we get a little bit of good feedback, we might continue this a little bit more past Women's History Month because all this is what this is all about. But also you can find me on Geeking Out, which airs on Mondays at 8:15 on WNM Geeking Out. And then I'm also a producer for our brother show, Screen Kings. So tonight, we're kind of not necessarily stepping away from horror, but we're kind of going horror adjacent. So if you guys remember from the first episode, I always say that I'm a scaredy cat. I will admit it. So I'm just now really getting into horror. So what kind of helps me get into horror is fantasy and sci-fi. And if you guys know that they kind of overlap. So I'm going to be talking about not just women of color in fantasy and sci-fi, Black women in fantasy and sci-fi. I want us to get to it, to our Black women. But before we start that, we always have a drinking game. And tonight's word is fantasy. So on the note, fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
I might be good with this one. I might not be
good.
But because I said it, I get to pick who gets to drink. Ladies, go ahead. That's for tonight. So whoever says fantasy gets to pick who does the drinking. So
dangerous.
Good luck, everyone.
Oh, I know. Wow. That's kind of fun.
Uno, draw four.
And stack them.
What's that new one called, you guys? The one that's really ridiculous? I guess it's having people draw 22 and...
Yeah, I forget.
It's like a new Uno game where you draw on like 20 plus cards.
Yeah.
I think
no mercy. Uno, no mercy.
Yeah, Uno, no mercy.
That sounds like the normal way I play it. Hi, Wookiees Movies. Shout out to everyone in the comments. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining us for the last several weeks. It's been happy to see all these people come celebrate and talk with us on the show. So normally we do something called yes. So normally we do something where we talk about what we're screaming about, but I wanted to do something a little different tonight. Something that's really special with me is sharing whatever media that I'm into is with my kids or the young people in my life. So we decided to do a thing called No Child Left Behind, introducing the young people in your lives to science fiction and fantasy. So we got a couple of clips of some of the kids in our lives and their favorite things about fantasy and horror and superpowers. So let's get started.
What is your name?
My name is Forrest.
Oh, I'm in 6th grade, and my name's Allison.
Tell us your name and your age.
What is your name?
My name is Forrest.
Oh, I'm in 6th grade, and my name's Allison.
Tell us your name and your age.
My name's Claire, and I'm 12.
Great.
My name is Josiah Johnson, and I'm in the 6th grade, and I'm 12 years old.
Who is your favorite fantasy character?
Green Lantern.
And why is that?
You would be a really cool superpower.
Character.
I like Hades. Yeah, he cool. But also, I like Batman. Technically, because Batman isn't real. Well, it depends.
All right. Who's your favorite fantasy character?
My favorite fantasy character is Tempbot from Bee and Puppy Cat.
Why?
Because she's really unique. She's literally a TV, and her voice changes every episode.
Do you have a favorite fantasy book, movie that you've read or seen?
Okay. I have 3.
Okay.
I know it sounds crazy, but the 3 that are my favorite is Goosebumps by R.L. Stine, the Percy Jackson books by Rick Riordan, and Clown in the Cornfield. I forgot who it's by.
Okay. If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Why?
We like to travel.
I want to have wings and be able to fly.
Ooh.
That would be cool. But then I can't fly too close to the sun or else I'm going to burn. That's going to be sad.
Very.
Okay. If you had any superpower, what would it be?
It would be... It's one I made up. It's called weaponry. It's where you could, make any weapon appear out of thin air.
Would it be attached to your hand, or would it just show up in your hand?
It'd, show up in your hand with the energy surrounding you.
Cool.
What scary movie scared you the most?
Definitely Nightmare on Elm Street.
Why?
I could sleep for long days, Claire.
No.
When I was younger, I used to be very scared of Coraline, but I still watched it. I just kept on watching it, even though I was terrified of it.
And then last one is, what horror film scared you the most?
It was my first scary movie. I was 5 and I cried during the first few seconds of the movie.
I think I remember that.
Right.
Movie you ever seen?
Insidious. It had to be the scariest movie. With Insidious, there was 18 different jump scares in one scene.
Who introduced you to fantasy?
My mom. She introduced me to a lot of fantasies. And I really like that she introduced me to these fantasies because it's made my mind explore. Today, I just finished Napoleon Dynamite, and I realized in that movie's made in 1990, 1980. That was a lot of imagination. When he was drawing, all his drawings were from his imagination. He made a lion and a tiger hybrid. That's amazing. With fantasy, you can do that. It's Star Wars for all the Star Wars lovers, or Star Trek. May the force be with you.
That's cute.
So cute.
That was really precious.
Amon, you have to tell him that a liger is real. It sounds like a fantasy creature, but it actually exists.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah, so true.
And there's also a Tygon. I think one of them is the mother is a tiger and the father's a lion, and the other one is the mother is a lion and the father's a tiger. They for some reason they have two different names.
Yeah, I saw a liger. I gotta look at the tiger.
I thought that was really sweet.
It
Cast
is.
my kids those questions. Because I didn't really think about like making up your own type of ability or
That was
superpower.
That's awesome.
I love that she came up with that.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I watched it was with her, and it was the newer one that she watched, and you know that first like few minutes of what happens, and she burst. I remember her bursting into tears. I was like, no, we gotta turn this off.
Aww.
Poor baby. But no, she loves. The thing is, like that. My oldest Clara, she loves horror more than I do for sure. But she started with things like Coraline and Nightmare Before Christmas and all those things, and so like she's been like dabbling into stuff like that and like Tim Burton films for the longest time.
Yeah.
Not for nothing, Coraline is creepy though.
It is.
Adult now is
Oh
we had that on repeat for a good while.
Yeah, I can see it scaring kids. I can see it scaring kids if you start watching it. Yeah.
Especially when she goes into that alternate world.
Yes.
Well, my 4-year-old is obsessed with Coraline. Like, she has a DVD. She has a big poster on her wall. She loves
It's definitely a phase. Yeah. It's definitely a phase. Well,
that's a great one, Marty. I forgot about.
Oh, we see
Grace Jones and Conan the Destroyer. Conan, was she in Conan the
Oh,
Barbarian?
yeah, we noted that one.
Ooh.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Yeah, Conan the Destroyer. Oh, Zula, right? Zula? Oh, yeah, exactly. That's the comedy, yeah.
And there was someone that commented earlier about Strange Days, and
I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen that one.
Angela Bassett was in Strange Days.
Oh, nice story.
Yeah, I don't know if I saw that one.
And thank you. Y'all go ahead and share your answers to the questions in the comments. We love to see your responses and go back to being a kid for a few seconds and think about some of those things that you were into as a younger kid.
You know, one I can think of because that's one I remember watching when I was younger, and it was kind of scary at first. The Never Ending Story.
Oh yeah,
that was kind of scary.
It was scary. Oh
Made
yeah,
me cry when you watch Artex in the
quicksand or whatever.
Yeah. Sadness. That was the saddest scene for any child to watch. Like,
so sad.
Yeah, I was like, girl, this is traumatizing.
Oh, you know what traumatized me? Legend. When Tim Burton played Darkness, that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah, that did.
You guys remember Willow?
Oh yes, yes. They remade that, right?
Yeah,
they did a TV series, and Warwick Davis's daughter is one of the main characters in the Willow TV series.
Oh, but wait, Shasha, did they cancel it or is it still going?
I don't know. I didn't finish watching it.
I think you just said they did cancel. Yeah, they're not renewing it. Yeah,
I thought I heard that.
Yeah.
One movie that I don't think I've shown the kids yet, but I should. So which one is it? It's not The Labyrinth. Labyrinth is the one with
David Bowie.
Yeah,
David Bowie. Yeah. Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, yeah, well, that was creepier. That's a little scarier.
That's a creepy one. That's a creepy one.
Very good though.
Yeah,
a mature Coraline, like, no comparison to Coraline now. The pants,
right?
They take it there.
Let's see, what was the? Oh, yep, it says they canceled it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Also,
I think they spent too much time on the other people because of the few episodes that I watched, when they were in the village with like the main character's family and the little people, that was really fascinating. But then when it would go to these other characters, the average height people, they were boring as hell. It's like, no, just stay in the village with the little people. They're interesting.
Oh,
not boring as hell. Okay. So a question for us, now that they're bringing the X-Men into the MCU, for those of you that are into Marvel right now. Would you bring back Halle Berry as Storm, or would you recast?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shasha was quick with that.
I'm sorry.
I
It's,
agree.
it's funny because
agree.
you mentioned the person who I would have wanted to play Storm if they did X-Men earlier. It should have been Grace Jones. But since, you know, obviously age is preventative, we need to find someone with that type of Storm. You have to understand, Storm has a presence that's just like amazing. It's like you need someone with a presence, and secondly, I need the brown skin. She looks striking because she has this beautiful brown skin and stark white hair against the brown skin, and she's from a specific area of Africa. Nothing against biracial actresses, y'all did fine, but that's not who she is. She's not a biracial person. She's African, so please cast her accordingly.
Who we thinking? I'm thinking. Who would you recast?
If she wasn't already a Dora Milaje, I wanted Michaela Cole.
I was thinking Ricky. I was thinking that too. Michaela Cole. That would be good.
Find out if Doechii can act because I could see it.
I love that.
Yes. I love
that video of her when she was in France on her bodyguard's shoulder, and she told them that they needed to move out of the way so she could come through, and they all listened to her.
Yeah,
that's a lot of power.
No,
she's like,
no.
Okay, now I gotta Google who's this girl from Imaginary.
DeWanda Wise and no.
Jodie Turner. I can see it. You guys know about Jodie Turner?
I can see Jodie Turner, but
not
DeWanda.
I don't know who DeWanda Wise is.
I don't know who that is either. I gotta search her.
Yeah, you'll know her if you search her.
You'll know her.
I don't see like Jodie Turner. I can see.
Because she also looks like another one that's also already in the MCU.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's just her eyes.
Yeah, that's Imaginary.
Yeah, it's her eyes too. Like she looks very similar to like in the X-Men animated series.
Yeah, I like
Jodie with a voice. That voice that Storm has. It's like it's like
but you know,
but no, she's already Melage. If you're talking about Michaela Cole, she's already in the MCU.
She's already in the MCU.
Oh, you know how great she was as Anika now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love her.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, even a drama series.
Oh my gosh, yes.
But I think they're gonna go younger anyways, because it's my understanding that when they reboot them, they're gonna start them more like just either in their teenage years or coming out of their teenage years. So they're definitely younger.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Oh, so now that's a whole different recast.
Just give us all what we want.
Yes, but she was already T'Challa's mom though.
Look out.
It's a different world. Nope, because if we're doing multiverses, she could be in a whole nother world.
Yeah, that's right.
This is true. They done went back and put Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, and I'm like, you was already Iron Man. I don't want
anything happen.
Mike mentioned the Dark Crystal. Do you guys remember
that?
That was
good. That's good
Good one.
Yeah,
I did
Dark Crystal.
Yeah,
I did a cosplay as Celadon from the Dark Crystal series on
Netflix.
Yeah, Shasha be doing good
cosplays. That series is so good though.
She does.
I need the pictures.
Thank you.
Yeah, you do good cosplays.
I know. Oh my gosh. Hats off.
I know.
Thank you.
So I wanted to play a fun little game called, because I'm not gonna curse too much. Love, Marry, Kill. Family edition. Lady Shasha, take a sip.
Oh, okay.
Get ready. All right, so let's start with the first round of Love, Marry, Kill. Let me pull it up. Oh, here you go. I'll do it. Boop. All right, here we go.
Ooh.
We have Marie Laveau from American Horror Story, Coven. We have Martha from Doctor Who. And then we have Starfire, played by Anna Diop, from Titans. So let's see. Let's start with Kristie. Love, Marry, Kill.
I don't know those other two people.
Yeah.
So
that's okay.
Love. I think it's in order. Love, Marry, Kill, because I don't know.
Right? Okay. And go ahead and put your responses in the comments, y'all. All right. Meka.
Oh, me? Okay. So let me see. I think I know two. I know two, not one of them. So I'm going to let me see. I'm going to kill the third one because I don't know the third one.
Wait, are you killing the Starfire? Is
You're
that
killing
Yeah, I'm gonna kill.
Starfire?
Yeah, I'm gonna kill Starfire. You guys, sorry.
Oh man.
I'm gonna marry probably my let's go Marie. Yeah, my aunt Angela Marie. Yeah, that yeah, because we can wait. I don't know. She might be kind of crazy to be married to. Love, and then I'll marry. Yeah, my Doctor Who. Yeah, I'll marry that one. Yeah.
Kira, how did you?
Oh my God! Now you guys, isn't this like don't laugh at us, but the same as the double? Honestly, it literally is the same, and I feel so bad because I'm not as familiar with the with Starfire, but I feel like she looks so badass.
Yes, you
I
do.
have got to like introduce myself to her 100% because I feel like
Especially when they fixed her wardrobe. I don't know if y'all saw them early pics of her. So
no,
they were a little rough, but
this is fierce. This is fierce. I'm
Mhm.
liking it.
All right, and Lady Shasha, love Mary
Okay, I'm
Kill.
going to love Starfire because the hair is fire. It's beautiful. I'm gonna marry Marie Laveau because like you would want someone as powerful as her to like finagle different things for you. And I guess I gotta kill Homegirl in the middle from Doctor Who, just because I don't know her. I don't follow Doctor Who that closely. But fun fact, my older brother is a huge Doctor Who fan. And he rebuilt the robot dog from Doctor Who. He goes to conventions with the dog. It can take people's pictures and prints out little messages. And he's actually received emails from children addressed to the robot dog.
Oh, it said love,
cute.
not making love.
All right, so let's next set. Let's do.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Wow, it's a nice mix here.
Okay, so we have Naomi Harris in 28 Days Later.
Mm-hmm.
We have Halle Berry as Storm. And then I don't remember this actress's name.
Oh, she was the one.
Yeah.
In
So this is so we call her the original, the first Slayer. Her name is Sinea in the show. She is the first Slayer from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So same order. Let's go. If you guys can answer.
Are we doing same order?
Yeah, let's do the same order.
Okay. I'm going to marry Selena because she don't play. She got my back. I guess I'm gonna have to love me some Halle Berry because I don't know that other girl.
Not your guess.
Okay. I think I'm gonna let me see. I think I'm gonna be like Kristie. I need to marry Selena because I need to know like if we in a crazy situation. I got some backup. But the Storm can lift me up though. But okay, and then I love Storm. And I do know the one, but she's kind of scary. So I think I have to kill her because she's scaring me. So that's mine right there.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna 100% say if you guys remember the episode when the first is introduced, that whole episode she was running after everybody ass, and it was the scariest thing. So I have to kill her. Like that's 100%. She must die for sure. Because you just can't sleep, right? And then I'm gonna marry Storm. I'm gonna give my girl Holly some love here because I feel like the superpowers, you controlling the elements too. There's something sophisticated about that. And then I do love Selena, so that's my order.
Okay.
All right, and then Lady Shasha.
I'm gonna go right in the same order they're pictured. Marry, love, kill.
I feel so bad because, and the thing is, I wouldn't necessarily want to love or marry the first Slayer either because technically she's like 16. So
Oh, wow. I've never seen the TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so the whole thing about it is being a teenage girl, and there's like issues with that, but like initially the lore is these tribal men were trying to fight the demons, and so they took a girl, usually 16, someone they can easily control, and gave her the essence of a demon so she would be able to this is more like something that you don't get to find out until like later, so this is not necessarily as important.
Oh, it's not. You're not giving too much away, Ricky. I don't think.
Buffy was 1995, guys.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Not even talking about the dang movie itself, but yes. So they gave her the powers of a demon so she can fight the demons, but they also kind of treated her like an animal. So and it doesn't necessarily change as much as the years and centuries go by as you get to land on Buffy. So there's that.
Oh my God, Ricky! Now that you're talking, Ricky, I should give I'm gonna say, guys know I always say this. I'm gonna give her some grace because if you watch the episode towards the end when she have the moment where she talking to Buffy, right? I think that you gain a lot more insight with regards to the position she takes. So I'm gonna give her some grace.
Yeah,
I still have to kill her though.
Still gotta take her out.
Yeah, we're gonna take her out. That's fine. That's fine. All right, let's set. All right, we have. Okay. All right, so we have Zoe from, this is Gina Torres. Zoe from Firefly. So has anybody ever seen Firefly at all?
Yeah. And the movie Serenity.
Yes.
Serenity.
So this is another Joss Whedon creation, same person that did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And so she is like the right hand man, the strong arm for the ship. We have is it Michonne? Yeah. From Walking Dead.
Yep.
Love her. I was never really into The Walking Dead. Zombies like creep me out. So, but I love seeing edits and like pictures of her in action. And then we have Nichelle Nichols as Uhura from Star Trek. Let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna marry Miss Nichols because she's exquisite from head to toe. And I have not seen Fireflies, but everything else I've seen this actress in, I have not liked her character.
Really?
Oh, wow, Kristie, no, not Miss Torres.
So I gotta take her out. And yeah, so that leaves, what's her name? Michonne. I'm gonna love her.
Okay. So same order. I'm gonna do the same as Kristie. Yes, Miss Nichols. Yes. For Mary. I'm going to love Michonne. Yep, because again, give me that backup when I need it. Yeah. And then I said finish Firefly. But I do like Gina Torres. But I will have to take her out. Yeah, because
okay, all right. I'm gonna do my Gina Torres. I'm giving her some love here. Come on, Gina Torres, Preston. Okay, so I'm going to. Oh, this is tough. I'm going to.
If you will.
I'm gonna love Gina Torres. I just do, you guys. And Fireflies, I actually enjoyed it, and she really was like the right hand in terms of like the ship functioning. I think like very like intellectual character, like so like you needed her in order for things to go well. So love. Ooh, now this is tough. Damn, I don't want to kill either one of them. I think I'm gonna, by default, I'll have to kill Michonne just because, like, if we got into an argument, she'd kill me first.
I think that's valid.
Yep, and then Miss Nichols, of course, I'm gonna have to marry. Just beauty personified, strong, like female lead, love, iconic.
All right, and Lady Shasha.
Okay, I'm gonna say, love Gina, and then marry Nichelle, and then I'm going to say kill Michonne only because I didn't see the series finale for The Walking Dead, I stopped watching it like after season 3, and it seemed like everybody dies on there anyways. So I don't know if she
got her
made
own
it. Did she
spinoff.
make it?
She's got her own spinoff. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, so she made
True.
it. That's cool. Oh, I gotta add her to my final girl list.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah, she badass. She
Okay.
she the final one standing for the most part too.
Mhm.
Well, other characters, but yeah, she did get her own show.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Okay. So that was okay. That was a little rough for me. Because I don't think I can choose. Honestly, I think I would have to marry Uhura or Nichelle. Love Gina. Kill Michonne.
Don't get taken out.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, and I think I said that wrong. So Kristie, I don't know if you like drama. I know you're not a fan of Gina Torres, but if you watch Pierce Suits and then Pearson, you may become a fan. I think she was great in those series.
Okay. All
You're
right.
gonna try to sell you for her, Chris.
I'm telling you.
I see.
Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, for playing this little game with me. So we're gonna go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with a little mini history lesson on Black women in fantasy, everybody, and science fiction.
See the town of Briarfell.
Nothing new, nothing special.
You're a witch, I'm a pixie, our best friend's a werewolf.
It could get bad.
Stop fighting your instincts.
We need to end this.
I think it's pretty simple what you have to do.
Did something happen?
Lie to me again and maybe you'll find out.
Oh, that looked fun.
Yes, that's the Abnormals. Our friend Shalon, who's also a co-host on Scream Kings, he has his own studio, Skip Studios, and that's one of his web series that should be working on either season 2 or season 3 right now. I think that those are part of like season 2. So shout out to Shalon. Every time I see those trailers, like I'm fully engaged. Like I'm really interested about what's happening next in there. So, like we said, we're talking about Black women, and oh no, it's not. Tamon, sorry. The Black women in fantasy and sci-fi, and we'll bring some horror into this because they sometimes intertwine. But before we talk about some of our favorite Black women in fantasy and sci-fi, Kira, drink.
It's Kira.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We're gonna do a little mini history lesson. So I had to do a little bit of research because I was interested in who were the first Black women in this genre in film and TV, and I think we all know who the first woman in TV is, or the first Black woman on a sci-fi channel, sci-fi show on TV. But what about the first Black women in a film that's sci-fi and fantasy? And so I don't know if you guys ever seen this movie.
I reviewed it on my channel.
That's Lady Sasha's element right there.
Okay.
I wanted to see, like, for the same reason that Ricky looked it up. I wanted to see how far back does Black film go, and what was I originally stumbled upon it because I was looking for the first Black horror movie, and I stumbled upon the first Black sci-fi movie, and I was like, oh, I have to check this out. And then there was another one I did that was a year after this one called Lucky Ghost, or in sometime it's called Lucky's Ghost. But like, yeah, this one is. I'll let Ricky continue. I'm sorry. I'm talking over.
No, I'm gonna pull you into this too. So the first Black woman in a sci-fi and it was a horror film were Laura Bowman and Daisy Beaver. And I couldn't find many pictures of them, but they were in this film of is the son of Ngaji or Ngagi.
In the picture, you would think it's pronounced Ngagi, but in the movie they keep saying Ngigi, and I don't know why they pronounced it that way, but they said Ngigi in the film. And if you look on the poster, in the bottom center, the woman with the coat on, I think that is Laura Bowman It's
Mhm.
they've kind of drawn over the photograph of her, but that's how she looks in the movie also.
Yes.
Wow.
And she
So
plays a scientist who acts, I don't know whether it's accidental or whether on purpose, creates this creature.
Oh.
Where
Where can you watch it?
I
On
think it was
YouTube.
on YouTube.
YouTube?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So this
let me
came out
look.
in 1940.
Wow.
And actually it was written and produced by two black men.
Ooh.
So it was like a black film. So like you said, Laura Bowman played Dr. Helen, and Daisy Buford played one part of a couple. I think her name was Eleanor. And so Dr. Buford had gone to Africa, and she had brought back this creature, this monster, as well as some gold from Africa. And she had changed her will, and she had summoned the monster, and it killed her. But then, like, she willed this house and her money to Daisy Buford's character. And so they're trying to figure out, like, where's this monster coming from? And then someone's trying to take the money. And it's a, from the description that I saw, it's probably a pretty good watch.
It's long.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a horror comedy in some ways.
Yeah.
It will make you think of like Frank. The storyline kind of reminds you of Frankenstein because you know everyone is they don't know what she experiments. They just know that she's a doctor, but they don't know what her experiments are. And there's one scene that I've always wondered whether the movie Demons was paying homage to. Do you remember in Demons when I'm sorry, not Demons, Night of the Demons?
Oh, okay.
When Roger gets scared and he jumps out the window.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene in this movie where the creature comes up and the one of the characters is like, "He's not going to get me," and jumps out the window the same way.
Oh, really?
Like, did they get that from this? I don't know.
Ooh. Oh, I'd love to think that they did that intentionally.
And if you watch my video, I put clips up in my review. There's also a section that has like a lot of black movies have a musical performance. These dudes are legit rapping in 1940.
Wow.
They're just they are literally rapping in this movie.
Oh. And wait, you guys said what's the runtime? You said it's long?
Maybe it just feels that way.
It didn't feel long to me, but I don't remember the runtime.
Okay.
Okay. I definitely just found it on YouTube. I'm excited.
Yeah. We talked about it for a little bit in our panel at BlurCon because this was like the first film that also featured a black couple, and our panel was about black
couples.
Okay, wow, that's awesome.
Noted. Definitely will check out. Love it.
I also just want to mention that aside from the doctor, most of the characters have like really I would say like a high positions. Like there's a character, I think it's a lawyer. There's somebody else that is like an accountant. Like everyone is very professional.
Nice.
Yeah.
So and so these ladies were also like working in, well, they had been like extras in different things, and this is probably one of their first major roles, and then they've had roles afterwards. And so eventually we come to 1960s, and we start to see more people doing things in movies, but then we have our first black woman in a sci-fi fantasy show on a major network. Miss Nichelle Nichols from Star Trek.
I have a story that my mother told me to tell tonight.
Please.
Definitely.
Okay, my mother is 70 years old. She was born in 1954, and when Star Trek premiered, she was 10 years old. And she said, seeing Nichelle Nichols on television, doing something in science fiction is what led to her studying science herself. My mother has a degree in forensics. And she said she would have never thought of herself going into science without seeing an image of a black woman on television on a starship. Because she said at the time when she was born, there were still signs up that said like whites only on fountains and stuff. So to see Nichelle Nichols was like amazing to her. That's what she told me as when she was a little girl, and that's what made her a Trekkie to this day, is seeing Nichelle Nichols.
Love it.
Well, that made me think of Whoopi Goldberg. She said the same thing too. Like when she was younger, when she saw Nichelle Nichols, like she was like, "Oh my God, this is black woman," and she said she went to go tell mother, "Look what she's doing, and look what role she's in." And she even talked about full circle. You know, when she got the role on Star Trek, how that
Mm-hmm.
meant
Yeah,
so
she
much
played
to her.
Guinan.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes. But she said like in that time, just to see a Black woman like in that role was just like crazy.
Even the concept of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry always would talk about how in the future how things will be. Even some things that we don't think of as really out there, but back in the 60s were them having a Russian and a Japanese character on there was also huge because this was only maybe 15 years after Hiroshima, and we were still in the Cold War with Russia. So his whole vision of the future was of true equality, and that's why it's so. I want to use the R word because I'm Gen X, but I have to fight myself. But it is that if you are a Star Trek fan and a racist, it means you don't understand the subject matter that you call yourself a fan of. You don't understand the concept if you call yourself a Star Trek fan and then proceed to be racist. It's like that's the exact opposite of what Gene Roddenberry was trying to
go together.
do.
Yeah.
So another one that came out in the 1960s, and it depends on how you feel about superhero movies and superhero shows, but I pretty much would agree that they're part of fantasy for sure. As Eartha Kitt playing Catwoman in Batman.
Yeah, that was good. I remember that one, watching that one too.
I think that was a pretty iconic role for her. For me, like
it's definitely memorable.
Oh,
I'll never forget it.
And she, like, oh my God, Eartha Kitt in general commands the screen. Like, just her voice, like everything about her, like it just captures you. Like I remember even Meka and I, like, historically we'll go back and just at different periods of revisit just some of her old interviews.
Oh
and just get lost with the wisdom. Like, like she embodied like sexiness, fierceness, intelligence, like all of these things, and was like fiercely independent too. And even with regards how she spoke about relationships and being a woman and being perceived as someone who demands respect. And like I remember her noting that some people took that as like almost like cocky or like full of herself, and it was like, oh no, I just know who I am. I'm not going to apologize for it. So I love Eartha Kitt.
Yes, absolutely. And so one of the things of course, when I think about fantasy and horror, it's like I love these things because of how fantasy and sci-fi will in its own way relate to the real world, and even the things that we don't like to talk about, or even the things that other certain fans don't like to mention because it's fantasy. You shouldn't have to worry about those things. But fantasy and sci-fi and horror are written by real people with real biases, and those things will always transfer into their writing even if they don't believe it. So one of the things I always think about is like some of the tropes that we see in fantasy and science fiction. Meka and Kristie, go ahead. Drink.
Drink?
I've been saying fantasy and sci-fi several times.
Cheers.
And I'll drink along with y'all. Don't worry. Thanks to Mom. But some of the tropes. So the one thing with Eartha Kitt and Nichelle Nichols playing these black women on these shows opposite white male leads, is that their purpose was to kind of soften the image of their white male leads to make them seem more modern and anti-racist. Because these both of these women characters there's some undertones of romance and sexual tension with their white male leads. Can we think of any other characters that we've known, like we've watched and seen over time, that kind of has that same vibe?
Well, Storm has different. She has dudes fighting over her, literally.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But the way Storm is, you can't blame the.
I would say the same too.
Well, see, I'm trying to think about. I was thinking. Well, no. I wouldn't. That's an interesting. I was thinking of Luke Cage. I'm forgetting. Misty
Knight.
But I don't know. Maybe a little bit.
Well, so as we kind of we start to see more Black women be featured in the genre, like Whoopi Goldberg, Gibson, like a lot of our staples in the Black community and Black Hollywood are getting their first steps into with fantasy and sci-fi. We start to see some more of these tropes come in, especially when we get to the 90s and the late 2000s. My favorite one is the mammy and eventually the magical Negro. And eventually we'll talk about that when we talk about some of my favorite fantasy characters. So like in particular, if you guys ever watched Vampire Diaries, Bonnie Bennett, I like to call her the ultimate, and I love this character, but it makes me sad because she's the ultimate mammy magical Negro. And so when we talk about these tropes, we're talking about how these Black characters are written to support, help, to guide their white counterparts in the story. And we see it all throughout literature, and we see it in some of our movies, and we see it through our TV shows. And I wonder if we have any of those in the horror genre too. So who do you have any of those that follow that trope?
You know, Kristie, you make me think about it. Kind of plays a little bit off of the Vampire Diaries. Still a series that's primarily focused on witchcraft. The TV series Salem. I don't know if people got an opportunity to watch it, but the character Ashley, that's an Ashley Madaki. She played Thibodeau.
Yeah.
And she was the one that was kind of trying to put out fires and always behind the scenes and people taking advantage and utilizing her and her just wanting to find her initial place. But again, the background, right? She was mistreated, not taken seriously, a little bit to the side, and was constantly trying to push. Even if like people perceived her to be like almost like sneaky and conniving at times, you understood the reason why. But she wasn't considered equal with regards to the other characters, clearly, for sure. That was evident. But it made me think about Bonnie a little bit in terms of, I'm not sure if she had some of the same behind the scenes that would be interesting to explore a little bit more, but definitely fits that magical Negro, piece for sure. I would say.
And for those that have really talked about like the like that mammy aspect, or I guess in some cases it could be like your Uncle Tom. So like that one Black character that provides like wisdom and helps the white character see reason, as some kind of guidance and wisdom and things like that. And so it hurts to say like some of my favorite characters have taken on those tropes, and it gets very frustrating when those are the main characters that you see, and those are the main representation that you see on TV and in film.
Yeah. And I think because we touched about that too a little bit, I think, on the last episode though. But you do see that like even in sci-fi stuff like Matrix and the Oracle, she gonna give you all the wisdom, and that's the person you go into. Even like we mentioned Whoopi Goldberg, even
and Ghost.
Ghost, Oda Mae, and even like in the miniseries too. She redid too The Stand. You know what I mean? Just like. You do see him in those roles, providing that comedy relief. Like, so you're going to be the comedy relief, someone to kind of tell the jokes, and also to kind of get in the person out of trouble, but not really the main character,
I have a complex feeling about the Oracle and the Matrix, because the way she came across with Keanu Reeves as Neo was one way, and it makes you look at her and that as that token magical Negro. But when I think about the actor that was originally asked to play Neo was Will Smith, and I always wondered how would that have played if it was Will Smith going to see the world come across the same way, or would it be more like consulting your elder type of thing?
Now that's an interesting. I like that. That's an interesting perspective. I bet you it would shock you too.
Whole lawsuit with the Black woman who said that she wrote The Matrix, and I think she also had a lawsuit about the Terminator. and it was in
Ooh.
court for like a decade. I don't know whether she ever won or not, and
Oh,
that might just be
wow.
a money thing because these studios have money. It's hard to go
Mhm.
against the
Oh
studio.
yeah.
Was it
Yeah.
proven that she actually wrote that?
I don't know. I
No.
don't know how it ended up.
Yeah.
So I just know
Yeah.
they went to court.
You do hear that though in Hollywood, like in the past, a lot of people saying scripts were taken, and I mean, so you never know. But like you said, if a major studio took your script, what can you do about it? You know what I mean? To kind of prove that it was yours. You know what I mean?
Sounds like Elvis Presley all over again.
Oh,
Yeah, girl, like copyright. What's that?
What's that? I don't know. Got me a Cadillac. Okay.
Yeah.
can I quickly say this, even though I know we focused on female-centric here? With the Masons is interesting in terms of Lawrence Fishburne character, like having the wisdom and like the knowledge, and then him, Keanu Reeves' character, right? Neo's the one who's supposed to be the one, the greatest, right? When I thought Morpheus, like you are all powerful to me. Like, I was watching the film for like Lawrence Fishburne. I just loved him. I was just gonna think about that juxtaposition too. Like it was really him just trying to strengthen up Neo as this being who was supposed to be the one, to kind of save us all.
Yeah.
That wasn't lost on me in this conversation. I just wanted to note that.
As you were saying that, I started thinking about what would be the opposite of that, and I was like, is there ever a movie like that? The only one I could think of is Blade. Blade had Whistler, who was like a magical mystical white
kid. Wait.
Whistler, yeah.
He had to teach him all these kind of things to get him
Yeah.
ready with his I guess his coaching. Told him, "You're the one, you're the special one, you're the special day walker. You got to do it."
Yeah, but you see how you got to kind of strain to even think.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of. I can't think of any other time. There was a time in the 80s where they would have the old Asian,
right?
Asian
right.
Yep.
Ted. Every once in a while, be a Native American. Oh, this is a Native American.
Yeah, that's true. I'm like actually racking my brain right now just to think if there's another example.
I can't think of one.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't tell you myself. It's usually someone of color, preferably someone older, and they're kind of, and whoever they're teaching is definitely appropriating whatever they're learning. So. So that's another trope within itself. So I think we're working on this, but I kind of want to go ahead and share some of my favorite Black characters in fantasy and sci-fi. So go ahead, everyone. Drink.
I heard it.
Yep, you did. I just want to share with y'all. So some of y'all might have know some of these, and some of these are part of shows that have a slight horror element to it, and then maybe like one or two do not. So for me, so my chick in the middle, Bonnie Bennett, from Vampire Diaries, come from a long line of witches of the Bennett Coven, the Bennett family. Basically, her entire lineage is the beginning of, for the most part, for the universe that we were talking about, like Vampire Diaries, how her ancestor created this spell for immortality. Her ancestor, several hundred years or 1,000 years later, is part of how we get the original vampires in the show. The cure for immortality comes from her ancestor. All these different things, which makes her a plot device, because every single issue dealing with the big bad needs her in some way. Her blood, her power. She's the only one that can do this, and that's when they decide to pull her out and use her. Any other time, they kind of put her to the side. She doesn't get much character development, and I know that I'm talking negatively about this. But I do love this character, and because I think these things, and I love her so much, it gets me frustrated
Mhm.
thinking about all the potential that she could have had
Definitely.
in the how long was it? 8 season show that she was in,
Mm.
where this character came from a book series, had way more development in the books, but in the TV show they gave her Squantos. So it's very, very upsetting. To the left, I guess the cartoon. This is Garnet. One of my favorite shows to watch with my kids is Steven Universe. So if you guys never seen that, it's about a boy who is half human, half what we call crystal gems, which are this alien species, and they're all named after some kind of gemstone. And so Garnet, who's voiced by the singer Estelle, is what we call a fusion. So when two gems combine together, and they come different things. So she's a combination of a sapphire and a ruby, and together they make Garnet. And she's very much coated black. She's the leader of the Crystal Gems. She's probably very much cool and calm, collected, and she's probably the strongest person on the show. So I love this character. Below her is, of course, Marie Laveau, which is probably the main reason why I watched Coven in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
To be quite honest with you, I love witchcraft. I love watching things with supernatural things, but I was not necessarily into American Horror Story until Coven came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mainly watched it for her. On the top corner with the blue background, this is Abby Mills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys ever seen Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
I love Sleepy Hollow. The first
Good show.
season and a half.
Yeah.
Maybe two. So y'all seen Sleepy Hollow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Abby Mills is she was a detective in the town of Sleepy Hollow, which if you guys know that story with Ichabod Crane, she is kind of a skeptic. She has a rough family history, and what I loved about her is that she was kind of a believer after like the first couple of episodes after the return of Ichabod Crane. And her and Ichabod, what were they called? Not the prophets, but like this chosen two that are supposed to defeat evil. And after that first season, like season and a half, this woman who I decided to watch the show because of, they started pushing her towards the background.
Mm-hmm.
And that was so frustrating to watch. So like they brought in Ichabod's wife, Katrina, and look, yes, witch, but she wouldn't do much. In fact, Abby is probably doing more than she was, and probably basically doing her job in many scenes. But after a while, I think season 3 they killed her off, and that's when I stopped watching.
Still jaded.
Honestly, and there was a book that came out, I think, last or 2 summers ago, where kind of like an expose on why the character Abby Mills was basically killed off. Mainly deal with the actress Nicole Bahari, which pretty much after this she was kind of blackballed. From the industry for a while, and basically due to her speaking out about the treatment that she was getting on the set. So like preferential treatment for her white.
She was treated horribly, and she says she has trauma. From it. She had to take a break from being an actress for how bad she was treated.
And so after that she hadn't been in much of anything for a good while up until like the last few years. And so it's still like F Fox and F the writers for Sleepy Hollow for me. Bumped him.
Yeah.
And then the bottom one, the last one, is Prudence from The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
Such a good character.
She's such a great character, and she's like honestly for me one of the main reasons to watch, because Sabrina got on my damn nerves. So Y'all thoughts? Y'all have seen any of these characters? I know y'all have seen Marie Laveau.
Yeah.
Prudence, Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, I loved Prudence in the Chilling Stories of Sabrina. Like, I think her character agreed. Now I like Sabrina. I know she was be a bit much, but I did like. I think the cast was really done well, and I did like overall all of the female characters really in the series. But Prudence like commanded again the screen, and again, not to give too much away because I don't want to do spoilers here. Very much a layered character. You would think, well, yes, there are villainous tendencies here. But you understand? Okay, I'm not gonna.
He was definitely a hater in the first, like.
Yes, thank you, Ricky. But I think yes, but I think you understand if you can commit to finishing the entire series, and I do think it is worth it. I think that where you start in terms of your introduction of this character, you would be pleasantly surprised with your takeaways from how you view her towards the end. Like she was a favorite for me.
I think she had some really great growth throughout the series.
Oh, she does, and no spoiler alerts.
Right.
I do want to say something about the costuming of Marie Laveau and how important how she's costumed is to like her actual history. Because she's, for anyone who's watching this that may not know, because I know we have people watching this probably from around the world, Marie Laveau was a real person in Louisiana, and one of the reasons why she has a headdress on her head is because of the Tignon laws. Where at a certain point in time, they wanted all Black women to cover their hair in Louisiana because, quote, the white women were jealous and did not like how the Black women adorned their hair with jewels and flowers and beads and all types of beautiful things. And all that happens when they put the headdresses on, they put the beads and the jewels and the flowers on that too. So we're gonna shine regardless. Right. But I love that her character, whoever did the costume design, really put their foot in that. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, one other note. In New Orleans, her tomb is in I forget the name of the cemetery, but people go to her tomb and I believe it's that they take brick grindings and they write a wish in hopes that she will grant their wish. It's something like that.
Ooh, that's I'd be nerve wrecked for that news.
Yeah, kind of desecrating a grave, but if y'all think so, I would
pass on that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not like superstitious, but superstitious enough.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys in terms of if you've seen the Coven series? This was, I digress in terms of Ryan Murphy as a whole, but in terms of the American Horror Story franchise, Coven was like my favorite.
Yes.
Do we think, like, I know of course, it's the series that follows all of these women, and in terms of like all of the powers, what they bring, right? I felt like her character, like you saw how important it was for them to collaborate with the power she held. Like Jessica Lange's character. Why am I forgetting Jessica Lange's character's name in the series?
Oh, Madame Lalaurie.
Oh, thank you. Right, like she needed to go to. Do we consider that to be the same thing in terms of like she needed help from Marie Laveau, like Angela Bassett's character,
because she wasn't powerful at all.
Exactly.
Oh, wait. Did you say
That's Kathy Bates?
I said Kathy Bates' character by mistake. I'm sorry.
No, the original was Supreme at the beginning of the show.
Fiona.
Thank you.
Fiona. Thank you.
Fiona. It took a lot of her to actually even consider asking her, but she knew she needed to.
Pride.
Yeah, pride. Yeah. Like
for
she was a means to an end.
Yep. For Jason in the comments that didn't know about Marie Laveau, if you look up Madame Lalaurie, she's real too, and she did some
her house.
sick stuff. Like if you look up what she did in her house in real life, that one was
me and Kira did a tour when we went to New Orleans. We did a tour of her house.
What did it feel like?
Oh no!
Like did the house feel like negative energy, haunted, or anything?
Very palpable in the sense of you feel unsteady. That's the best way I can describe it.
We didn't even finish going through it because I was like the vibes. So we kind of let everybody back out. I
guess the family only stays there, like they own the home. The owners now they're there only a few times throughout the year.
So like twice. twice a year, and they have this one groundskeeper. They let him he have the whole house to himself, long as he take care of it for the whole year. And they come twice a year to stay, and he lives there.
Yeah, I've walked by that house, but I never went inside.
I'm good.
We got bad vibes, so we met the group outside.
Very unsteady, it is.
So someone had asked a question. So Jason asked this question here. It's like, would you say that Black representation got more important and has increased compared to when you were elementary or high school?
Oh, I definitely would say you are seeing still a long way to go.
Yeah.
Still, I can't believe in 2025 we still have a long way to go. But definitely from when we were younger, I'm seeing more representation because, like I said, Kira and I, sometimes all the shows I'm watching was just all Caucasian cast. You know what I mean? You weren't really seeing anyone who reflected yourself. So definitely yes, but I still say you could do better as well.
So I was in elementary school and like in the mid to late 90s, and I feel like for me, like aside of the major shows that had a majority like white cast, like the 90s felt more Black more than anything. More Black shows.
Like certain networks. Yeah,
certain networks
like
had more, but not necessarily this particular genre, but like in general.
I was gonna say it depends on the genre. If it was comedy, we had lots of Black comedy, but outside of comedy, not so much.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, because like I said, Fox, I remember like comedy because it was like that whole channel was like Living Single, Martin, and then you had New York Undercover. But really, outside of drama and comedy, like you said, when it was sci-fi, you weren't really seeing that whole. Yeah.
Right. One thing that I do want to note though is I think that yes, now more representation. Again, yes, we still have a long way to go, but I think that what I still find quite disheartening sometimes is even if you see more representation, to get it to the mainstream, like to have the masses physically be able to like know that it's out there. And the two films I always think about is Fast Color with Lorraine Toussaint. If you haven't seen that, that's such a slept on sci-fi.
Oh, so good.
Such a good film. And no one ever talks about this film. I don't even know if people have seen it, if it's on their radar. And then like parallel, there's some really good new films out that are kind of sleeper. Like they've fallen behind in terms of people knowing that they're there like for consumption, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's still a challenge too, even if it's created or people seeing it. Do they know about it?
Oh,
yeah.
Thinking about a slash is what we need to see. Yeah.
All right. So before we get into what some of your favorite characters y'all shared with me earlier, we're gonna do a quick commercial break, and then we'll wrap up with some more of our favorite Black women in fantasy and sci-fi.
I am Tamon Kane, writer and creator of the Associate Saga. The Associate Saga is a story about a fraternity that's based in New Orleans, and the fraternity is for male sorcerers. This fraternity goes all the way back from Egypt, and it was founded by 5 magi. So Associate is basically a history lesson. It covers 5 generational members of this fraternity. So these characters are 17 and 18, so they're going to show you their perspective of a coming of age story that you've never seen before.
Love it.
Tamon, our producer, for this show. His series, the Fraternity. So join the Fraternity, the Saucier Saga. He's gonna have book 2 coming out actually very soon. Is it April? It should go to print soon in April. So keep an eye out for that. Join the Fraternity, the website, I believe. Make sure you get a copy of that.
Awesome.
Love it.
All right, so let's see. I also asked the ladies to give me some of their fantasy favorites. So share. Some of these these are my favorites too. So of course, if you look into like the superhero genre, it's the Women of the Dora Milaje and the Black Panther series in general are wonderful. And hate on it if you want to, but the fact that the last movie is very female centric is wonderful to me. I love it.
Yeah, they're badass.
They were.
Yeah.
And of course we got Storm, Halle Berry.
Yeah. Sasha. I love Sasha too. Walking Dead.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh, there's so many tear-jerking scenes though that involve Sasha. Oh, take me out.
Okay, so someone explained to me Sasha and her role because I did not watch The Walking Dead.
Yeah, let me go. Let me see if I can go back because I did. I think I checked out at season 8. But Sasha was cool. It was her and her brother Tyree. When they joined the crew. But she just is a badass too. Just really fearless. Really doesn't take any crap. A good someone to kind of really back you up when you need it. She became like a really central figure and a kind of right hand. Walking Dead, a lot of traumatic stuff is occurring. So she went through some stuff, but I kind of put her up there like Michonne in terms of able to get what needs to get done and kind of does what she needs to do. But great character, and I really love the dynamic with her and her brother.
Oh yeah, and I would add to that, Meka, in terms of like the parallel between that very sensitive. So you got to see vulnerability with this character.
I do, yeah.
Again, no spoilers, but she does go through significant periods where these events alter kind of how she is, and you understand why she has to be this way now. But very well-rounded, developed character for sure. I think that they stretch like there's layers to Sasha.
Okay. Anything else you want to add to this one?
Can I say I do wish my Halle Berry could get a redo, not because I want her to be the new Storm, but I think they could have done so much better with her casted as Storm. That's all I'm saying.
I would do the cameo, honestly. I wouldn't say no to a cameo.
A cameo.
Be cool.
Just a taste.
A little bit.
Give her flowers, and it's okay.
Okay, take mine.
Well, can I ask you guys really quick, what you guys think about Halle Berry as Catwoman?
I liked her as Catwoman.
I liked her as Catwoman.
I didn't hate the movie.
I did.
Yeah.
I did
And
not
you know
hate
what?
it.
They could still have her play. This is how I think they could have her still play Storm. Because of the whole multiverse thing. She's Storm in one multiverse, but not another multiverse.
Yeah.
I would do that.
Yeah.
They opened up a can of worms. With that.
Come
They
on,
did, Ricky. They really did.
They opened up a can of worms. Like you can get your nostalgia, but here's gonna be our person. It's
like
here, damn.
It's like what they did with
a prequel. You guys know?
No. She'll come back in Secret Wars. Yeah, they will have her back and watch. They're gonna do something.
I guess. Okay, that's fine. I guess. I mean, I'm gonna watch regardless. I'll have my feelings about it later.
Thank you. Yes. See, she got some love to come back.
Yeah.
They'll make it work.
They might do her like they did Gambit in Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's not that I did not like Halle Berry as Storm. Like I enjoyed her as Storm. It's just I don't need the former actors from the previous series to do this.
Yeah.
I'm okay with a fresh face.
With one exception. Homeboy that played young Professor X, he could come back.
Yeah,
from he was so good.
I can agree with that. Yeah,
I will agree. I do love to see that's what we also need to be reminded of. Not us per se, but the industry as a whole, fresh faces. Like I love when I'm watching a movie and like I don't know any of the cast and it's like raw, fresh talent. I'm like, oh, this is great. You know what I mean? I think sometimes there's a heavy reliance on actors and actresses in these film roles, and I can understand it. But again, it kind of closes off the opportunities to highlight new talent, but then you miss out when you don't do that either.
And that's Hollywood too, like recycling maybe the same 5 black people.
Okay.
Okay. I forgot who she lost to. I forgot.
Haley? Who was Haley? Catwoman.
Oh, Hallie. I think
he meant Hallie.
Catwoman. Yes, we do like her overall.
To Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, was it Jamie Lee Curtis? I can't remember who she lost
Sharon
to.
Stone.
No, I mean for Angela Bassett, who she lost to.
Angela Bassett.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah.
I feel like it was, but that was a while ago.
I know.
What Tamon said she lost to Anna, who played.
What's all this? Where are you getting all this tea from, Tamon?
I think it's where he's at because Atlanta, they shoot so many of these movies in Atlanta. So he's got to know people that work behind the scenes.
I don't want to know. And I'm trying to tell him that. I don't want to know. Just know.
Don't give us the scoop.
I don't
it's my job.
Okay, good.
I guess Tamon.
After hours.
Namor was great. I love that. Namor, and also his backstory of why he's called No Amor. Like it really, I think it needed to open certain people's eyes because I'm trying to say this without getting into politics. A certain segment of society thought that they was another segment of society, and they needed to be reminded. Oh no, you were enslaved too. You just don't. You just choose not to speak about that, but you were. That's why your last name is Rodriguez and not your original Mayan or I'm trying to think of the other one.
Incan,
or there's a third one too.
Aztec.
Y'all had indigenous names before those people ran through there and did what they did to y'all. And I love how in Black Panther they told that story as well, and why Namor was mad. He had a right to be mad.
I like Namor as a character, but I do wish he had his own movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, this is true. I think they probably did that because of the death of the main character. They had to like pivot real fast, but I don't think that was the original.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Feel like his movie now. I'm like, I know. I like this. I love it. It's very beautiful. I love the world that they created around it. I just like
Okay. I would like to see more of him. Hopefully, we'll see more of him. Yeah,
I'm sure.
You almost feel bad for Marvel because every plan they get, a monkey wrench gets thrown.
Yeah.
Like even with the next phase, they had this whole phase built around. Oh God, what's Jonathan Major's characters? Kang. Yeah. Their whole next phase was based around Kang, and then they were like, "Oh snap!"
Again today, sadly,
we gotta pivot again.
Yep.
Yeah, he messed up that bag, y'all.
You guys, he's trending again today. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
I used to like him, and then I'm just
how
like,
convenient his trending news is after the other news 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He's trying to change the news cycle.
Oh, yeah, and he got a movie coming out soon too. And I said, "Ooh, today, ooh."
It's a shame because he really is a good actor. He's just
so good, man. He's an amazing actor.
I don't know why or maybe it's because he won't listen. But if I was his publicist, I'd be like, "Listen, you go to therapy. You go post pictures of you meditating in Bali. Come back a year later about how you changed your life, and that's how you relaunch."
There you go, Shasha.
I don't remember she was.
He ain't
she wasn't. First was Julie Newmar. Then I think it was Eartha Kitt, and then
Julie Newmar.
Yeah. Meriwether, Meriwether.
Yeah, Sasha, right? She's the second.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. Yes, great example. He redeemed himself. I remember one. Do you guys remember the award ceremony when Jodie Foster was getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, and Robert Downey Jr. Appeared he said on location, but from prison.
Yes. Oh, he literally wasn't in prison.
Yes,
It
he
was
was.
in general population. They was like, we're not playing with you. You going in general pop. I'm like,
Yes.
pop.
Talk about changing life. He's a perfect example of like turning around.
But he wasn't abusing women though.
Oh yeah.
No, he got a dime dropped on him. Somebody called and said that he was holding a certain amount of cocaine on him. And I'm like, the only way somebody would call the police and tell how much cocaine you got on you is if they was with you when you bought the cocaine. I'm like, that's messed up.
I know. Oh my God.
Clean.
Down.
I'm sure a lot of people out there got cocaine.
All right, so here's a next set. Yeah, this is from. So I should have said this earlier, but Ash to Ashes couldn't make it tonight. She had some things going on, so she was able to make it tonight. So these are some of her fantasy. Sorry.
Oh.
You know, I've been saying it all night, so I've been drinking. I don't know about y'all. I've been sipping. These are some of her suggestions. So we do have Valkyrie right here from the Thor Thor series, which I love. I enjoy her character. And then we have Domino Day, which I watched on AMC Plus, right?
Yes, it is. Mm-hmm.
They have some good witch shows on there. Stuff for Mayfair.
I gotta add this one. I'm not familiar with that one.
With the exception of Mayfair.
I love that.
I'm excited about I see someone I love.
Mm-hmm.
Taymon put me onto that show.
Oh, okay, I gotta watch that.
It's good.
Yeah. And then we have Thandie Newton. So there's two different characters that she's played here. So one is from Westworld, and the other one is from what is that one?
Chronicles of Riddick.
Okay, someone explain, like, because I watched a little bit of Westworld, but I didn't watch the Chronicles of Riddick. So could someone like explain?
Oh yes. And I do like, you guys. Can I say I love Vandy? She went back to her original name, Vanda Wee, and she said the only reason she changed it was because she thought people would not just be able to pronounce it, and she said, "Oh, F them, pronounce my name," right? But yeah, in Chronicles of Riddick, she played Dame. I hope I'm saying that right. Viaco? Am I saying that right?
I don't know. You might be.
I really love this, but oh my gosh, she was so like. Now I know Chronicles of Riddick. You either love it or you hate it. Like I enjoyed this film in general, just based on like the cinematography, everything, the costume design. Like I thought the acting was exceptional, and she played like she gave you the vibes of like she's been compared to almost like a Lady Macbeth. That's the best way I could describe her, where she was always cunning and meticulous in how she tried to play her husband against gaining power, just regardless of who that took out, like relentless. And so a beautiful villainess, but like, you know what I mean? Like that's the best way I can describe her. But oh my God, you watched it and like you were almost mesmerized in terms of her character. But she definitely would be considered a villain, but you understood the reasons why she was like that, because it even showed the juxtaposition of like a female wielding power, right? When a male dominated world, honestly, she was the right side of her husband, but she had to still know her place. But she was able to manipulate him. Yeah, that's the best way I could describe her character. But I thought she was excellent in it.
Yeah. So who's this vampire?
Mine.
Yeah, tell me about this one.
Drolta. So she's a character in the Netflix series called Castlevania Nocturne, which is like a spin-off show from the original series called Castlevania, which is based off a video game. But in this particular series, like it's like about vampires, obviously. There's a vampire queen that's trying to rise to power and take over the world. And Drolta is like her countess. She works under her. She's trying to help her come into power. And I just love the way she looks. Like she's so like this final transformation. You don't see that in the beginning of the show. She looks kind of like normal. She has regular, natural curly hair. and she wears like this leather outfits and these high ass leather boots, and she's just a badass, and she fights really, really good. But yeah, then she has this final transformation. I just love the way she looks. It's like her hair's on fire. She's got these wide things. But this show is really good. She's a villain in the show, but I still love her swag. And when her vampire teeth come out, I'm just like, oh, I want to be her so bad.
Cosplay.
You said her name is Droka? Is Droka?
Yeah.
Droka.
Okay.
Don't we love a good villain though, you guys? I've noticed
We do. All right, so one in the corner right here. So this is book character. Are they making a movie of this one yet? Or is this
I want so badly. My fingers are crossed.
So
this is Bree.
Go ahead.
The Legendborn series, and I'm obsessed. You guys got to read this if you like fantasy, but it is YA-ish.
It is very, but I do love a good YA. I don't care.
Yeah. So sometimes she gets on my nerves a little bit, but
because she's young.
She's young. She's 16. Yeah. So
okay.
But she goes to like UNC and like their early college program or whatever, like following in her mother's footsteps after she's passed away, and she stumbles upon this secret society that's embedded in the university. And I love this series because at face value it seems like a regular fantasy novel, but it is layered. There's threads of like her bloodline tracing all the way back to the first mother, which was in slavery. The secret society is rooted in king authors tables and all this stuff. It's just the way the writer brings it all together to make it make sense. It's crazy. The third book just came out.
Okay.
Have you read it? Okay, you haven't read it yet.
I read the first one, or I listened to the first one this summer, and I really enjoyed it. So my plan is to get into the second one.
Okay, yeah. The second one is really good too because she actually travels a lot through that, and so she uncovers more of her history. There's even like the story of Rob Johnson and how he sold his soul to the devil at the crossroads. Like she weaves that history into it too. It's so good, y'all. Y'all gotta watch it. Y'all gotta
read it. Is that on Netflix too?
It's a book.
It's a book.
Oh, it's a book. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's three. You said the third one is out too.
The third one just came out earlier this
year.
year.
I love to have already the series. Like if I'm starting one,
I know, right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the same way.
Yeah. Nice.
I love the story because it definitely takes that the what they say Arthurian, like author's tale, like author's folklore, and kind of turn it on its head from this idea of like noble chivalry to just like it's rooted in something completely else, something else completely, and so I love that about the story.
Even Bree as a character, she kind of like rises up to become this really powerful person that she didn't have. I had no idea that she was, and I just love that too. I like to see our characters be powerful in literature. So
yeah, definitely. So this is Legendborn.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I have it written down. I'm gonna make sure I have the right name. Legendborn. Okay.
All right. So
here
you guys go.
Okay, yes. So let me get because I'm gonna make sure I'm saying all the names correctly. So just pulling it up. So yes, okay. So Kira talked about the first one, Ruth in Fast Color. Fast Color is very slept on. Is a fantasy sci-fi, and it also has I can't remember, Lorraine Toussaint plays her grandmother.
Her mother, but she's raising her daughter, her granddaughter, who's actually so it's three generations.
Three generations of women, and they live in secret, and you kind of find out why, because they have this power, and it's a lineage, like women all over, like certain women across the world with this lineage has this power, and how they live in secret, and it's just really so good. No one talks about it, and I just love it. And then we did Yo-Yo from They Clone Tyrone. I just love that movie. That was such a fun time, and I just loved her character. So I wanted to highlight that one because I think the film was well done. Hopefully, I think it sets it up for a sequel. Hopefully, we'll get another one. Were you
Can I
gonna say,
say
Carol?
one thing I loved about her is like she was a fan of Nancy Drew.
Oh, yes.
Novels, like so she got a lot of ideas with regards to what would Nancy Drew do. I thought that was hilarious, but like
Yeah.
so pointed to her character.
Oh
Did
yeah,
we
and then
talk?
we did Vanessa from Parallel. That's one me and Kira discovered last year. It came out last year in 2024. And that was another one that kind of fell off the radar. We actually did a whole episode on it, but we really enjoyed that and how it looks at time jumping and time traveling. That was really well done. And then the last one was Kayla Supernova. That's a one from the 2000s with Angela Bassett. I don't know if anyone remembers it. But I love Kayla's character. She was like the doctor on the ship. And I think it was just really well done. It follows this crew who's in space. They get an emergency beacon, and they have to respond to it and kind of who they pick up and how they navigate that. But she's a great character in the film, and one of the earlier movies I remember watching with Angela Bassett. But I liked Kayla's character. So those are our 4 choices.
Did we mention that actress from They Cloned Tyrone when we were talking about possible casting for Storm? Because her face, the way it looks right here,
is she not
with the white hair? Oh my God, she would look amazing.
Is this not Tiana Parrish?
Yep, Tiana Parrish. Yep.
Yeah.
She's already in the MCU.
Oh,
she's in
that's right. Wait, is that her that's in the Marvels?
Yes, that's her.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. Okay.
She's still in the Storm, hopefully.
Oh, okay. She plays Storm. Okay. Yeah, but that would be a good Storm. I like that.
There's so many choices, but they keep picking them up for other characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many like dark skinned women that could do this.
Yeah, but I would definitely recommend out of this bunch Fast Color if you haven't seen it.
Perfect. Are we so this is some of our list of our favorite Black women in get ready ladies all together.
Oh.
Fantasy and sci-fi. Boop. And I want to thank y'all for indulging me because I know this is a horror show.
No, this was fun. This is allowed.
But this is kind of my jam too. So you can find us at Scream Kings Pod on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and make sure you like and subscribe to everyone's channel on here. Kristie, Kira, Meka's, and Lady Shasha's, as well as Ashes to Ashes, and all of our endeavors, because we are all doing a lot, really. So I'm Rickey Z. You can find me at Rickey Z _social on Instagram and Twitter, Twix, and Rickey _ZTV. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't call it X. I can't do it. So on the TikTok, and I'm also on Geeking Out on Mondays, and I'm behind the scenes on Scream Kings when we come back in April. Kristie, where can they find you?
You can find me on Blue Sky at Love Horror Queen. You can find us, my husband AJ and I, on YouTube and our podcasts, In Love with Horror, Instagram at In Love with Horror. You can check out our website, inlovewithhorror.com, to follow along our reviews and things like that. Also, we have merch. I have a new shirt that just came out. It has black writers, black directors that are Black women. So go check that out.
I'll definitely get that.
Rep that merch. Yep.
I have a book club. I have all kinds of things going on. But yeah, y'all can find me over there.
All right, we have Kira and Meka.
Okay, so you got started. You can end it.
Oh, okay. Oh, did you say you gonna start it?
Oh, no, I'm saying I started when we started the episode. I'm gonna give it to you.
Oh, okay. I got confused. Okay. So yes, at Double Feet Podcast, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. Like Rickey said, we're on the TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And we just started Blue Sky, so we'll get active over there. Yeah. So yep. Always a fun time.
And also Miss Lady Shasha.
Okay, don't laugh at me. I got a whole pad.
Okay, I'm ready.
My channel is at Horror Freak. At Horror Freak on Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, TikTok, Lemon8, Red Note, and also I have whatidijustwatch.com. And you can also find me on Amazon Shop under Lady Shasha. All the links will be on my channel. If you just go to at Horror Freak on YouTube, all the links are there.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for indulging me tonight. And make sure you, like I said before, like, subscribe. Come join us next week. Who's hosting next week?
Oh,
Chris.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Ooh, and what are we talking about?
Gothica.
All right.
Yeah.
More
Okay,
Halle Berry.
Yes. So this is my first time watching it. So okay, I'm ready.
Okay, well, make sure y'all, if y'all are gonna be watching it this week to prepare for next week, at me some, while y'all are watching it.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Oh, I will live tweet you. Don't worry.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everybody.